A ripple in the void. The Argosy, humanity's first interstellar diplomatic ship, drifted through the silent void of space. Its hull gleamed silver against the backdrop of the Andromeda Galaxy. Inside the bridge, Captain Lyra Kessin gazed at the holographic display, her hazel eyes tracing the pulsating signal that had brought humanity here, a desperate call for help from a distant coalition of alien species. "Status?" Lyra asked. Her voice carried the calm confidence of someone who had commanded starships for over a decade. First Officer Dax Renholm, a tall, broad-shouldered man with sharp features, leaned over the console. "The transmission repeats every 72 seconds. Origin confirmed to be from the coalition of species." "It's odd, Captain. They're requesting a resonant species." "Resonant?" Lyra frowned. Dr. Ellen Marai, the ship's xenobiologist, adjusted her glasses and chimed in. "That term doesn't match any of the coalition data shared during first contact. But if they're asking for us specifically, it must mean something we possess." The mystery deepened as the Argosy approached the source of the signal, a massive station orbiting a supermassive black hole. The station, called Ariad's Hold, shimmered with golden hexagonal patterns that pulsed in time with the black hole's radiation. Chapter 2. The Gathering of Minds. Lyra and her team were greeted by Counselor Dracthel, a towering insectoid being with iridescent wings. Its voice, a blend of clicks and deep tones, resonated in the chamber. "Humans, you're the first to answer our call," Dracthel said. "The coalition is fracturing. Wars threaten to engulf our civilizations. We seek a resonant species to mend the divide." Lyra exchanged a glance with Dax. "What exactly do you mean by resonant?" Dracthel extended one of its limbs, projecting an image of human brains alongside alien neural patterns. "Your species is unique. Your neural frequencies exhibit quantum empathy, a capability to influence the emotional states of others. This is a phenomenon no other species in the galaxy possesses. We believe you can restore harmony to the coalition." Ellen's scientific curiosity flared. "Quantum empathy? That's incredible. But why now?" Dracthel hesitated, its wings trembling. "Because the Kresh have returned. They are feeding on the chaos." At the mention of the Kresh, the other alien representatives in the chamber shifted uncomfortably. Ellen turned to Lyra, her face pale. "The Kresh are an energy-based hive mind. They thrive on war, consuming the psychic energy generated by conflict. If they're back..." Lyra squared her shoulders. "What do you need us to do?" Chapter 3. The Shattered Accord. The Coalition's council chamber was a grand, domed structure filled with representatives from dozens of species, each more alien than the next. Some had translucent skin that shimmered with internal light, while others were encased in metallic exoskeletons. Lyra stood at the center, her voice steady but firm. "We humans may be new to the galaxy, but we understand the cost of war. Let us help you." Counselor Varthana, a reptilian being with emerald scales, hissed in disdain. "And why should we trust these primitives? How do we know they won't use this so-called empathy to manipulate us?" The chamber erupted into arguments. Lyra raised her hand, her voice cutting through the noise. "Enough. If we wanted to manipulate you, we wouldn't be standing here unarmed. We came because your message asked for help. Let us prove our intentions." Reluctantly, the council agreed to a trial. Lyra and her crew would mediate a long-standing dispute between two species, the aquatic Myrnians and the fiery Torathans. Their conflict over a shared planetary system had raged for centuries, fueled by the Kresh's subtle manipulations. Chapter 4. Trial by Fire and Water. The Myrnian delegation arrived encased in floating spheres of water, their translucent bodies glowing with bioluminescent patterns. The Torathans, on the other hand, radiated heat, their molten rock-like skin glistening. Both sides were immediately hostile. "They steal our oceans," growled Vaker, the Torathan leader, flames flickering along his arms. "And you boil our seas," countered Narya, the Myrnian ambassador, her voice a melodious hum. Lyra stepped forward, her tone calm but commanding. "Enough. Both of you are fighting for survival, but neither will survive if the Kresh succeed. Let us find common ground." Over the next few days, Lyra and her team worked tirelessly, using humanity's unique empathy to bridge the gap between the two species. They discovered that the crush had seeded the conflict by manipulating resources, creating scarcity to pit the two species against each other. By exposing the crush's tactics and fostering an agreement to share the planetary system, Lyra achieved the impossible. The Myrnians and Torathans signed a peace accord. Chapter 5. The Crush's Strike. As the accord was celebrated, the Crush revealed themselves, launching an attack on Ariad's hold. The station shuddered as energy tendrils tore through its defenses. The coalition panicked, their fragile unity threatening to unravel. Lyra rallied the council. This is exactly what they want: our fear, our division. We must stand together. Using the Argosy's experimental resonance amplifiers, Lyra and her crew broadcast a wave of quantum empathy across the station. The energy disrupted the Crush's hive mind, forcing them to retreat. But the victory came at a cost. The station was heavily damaged, and the coalition's unity remained tenuous. Chapter 6. The Void's Secret. Ellen discovered a hidden truth about the Crush. Deep in the archives of Ariad's hold, she found records indicating that the Crush were not always parasites. They were once a peaceful, advanced species, but a catastrophic event fractured their collective mind, turning them into predators. Lyra proposed an audacious plan. Instead of destroying the Crush, they would attempt to heal them. The council was skeptical but desperate enough to agree. With the help of the Myrnians and Torathans, Lyra's team created a resonance device capable of restoring the Crush's fragmented consciousness. Chapter 7. The Resonance Accord. In a daring mission, the Argosy ventured into the heart of the Void Scar, the Crush's home territory. The black, shimmering expanse pulsed with malevolent energy. But Lyra and her crew pressed on, activating the resonance device. They sent a wave of quantum empathy into the void. The Crush writhed and screamed, their energy forms flickering erratically. But then, something miraculous happened. The Crush's chaotic energy coalesced into a harmonious glow. For the first time in millennia, they spoke not in anger, but in gratitude. We remember. Thank you. The Crush withdrew, vowing to atone for their actions. Epilogue. A new dawn. The coalition, inspired by humanity's actions, united to rebuild what had been lost. Lyra and her crew were hailed as heroes, but they knew their work was just beginning. As the Argosy departed Ariad's hold, Lyra gazed out at the stars. This is just a start, she said. If humanity can bring peace here, maybe we can do the same everywhere.